Yeah? Oh, it's you.
Marie, you said you'd be ready.
Yeah, well, I overslept.
Well, do you mind if I come in?
No, I suppose not.
Thanks.
He wandered about for a bit after I saw him pick it up, then headed for the exit. Didn't go near the tills. And where did you stop him? Outside on the pavement, usual spot. Did he say anything? Not much. Nothing since we brought him in here. This is Mr. Payne, the manager. Hi, Mr. Payne. And these are the goods, yes?
Yes, that's them. And I do want to press charges, all right? And how much shoplifting cost us last year?
Oh, I can imagine. Right, what have you got to say for yourself?
Well, tell me why not. You knew it was the identification parade today.
I forgot. And I've got an essay to write by Monday. It's my finals this year. I should be working.
Well, it won't take long. You don't have to worry about seeing him again, I mean. Look, you'll be perfectly safe.
I'm not worried. It's... How do you know it's him? I told you I didn't get a good look at him. It'll probably be a waste of time.
Well, not necessarily. The other witness, Mrs. Whitemore, she gave a good description of the car and most of the number plates. Now, all we need is you just to pick out his face.
Yeah, but what if I don't?
Look, it was you who got mugged. You should want to put him away.
Yeah, well...
We usually get more cooperation than this, you know.
All right. I'll have to get dressed first.
I'll wait outside. Just don't take too long, OK?
All right, put her in number 2. OK, June, what you got?
Shoplifting, Sarge. Damon's, Foxton Road.
OK. Name?
He's not very talkative.
I see. All right, empty your pockets on the desk, please. This yours? Paid today? I take it you're not Miss C.L. Leland of 39 Elverton Road? What are you doing with her electricity bill?
Think I should go around there, Sarge, see if she's in?
You don't have to do that.
Yes, we do, if you're not going to talk to us.
It was a favour. I said I paid a bill because I was going past the electricity shop.
So Miss Leyland's a friend of yours, is she?
Yeah.
And who are you?
David Stephen Manning.
OK. Address?
36, Waters Close, Ruislip.
And age?
15.
So this address is your parents' house?
Yeah. Look, there's no need to bring them into this. Can't we just get on with it? I'll take the stuff, all right? I'll make a statement, whatever.
I'm afraid it's not that simple. You see, as a juvenile, we have to have a responsible adult present before we can take a statement from you. And that's normally one of your parents.
No. I don't want them here, and if they are, I won't say anything.
Oh, yes, all go here. Never a dull moment. Oh, sir, there's Mr. Adams and his sister, Mr. King. The identity point.
Oh, yes.
Inspector, before we get to the parade, my client would like to have a word with you.
Oh, well, of course. Mr. Adams?
So what is it you're studying? History?
History and economics.
Hard work, is it?
No, I can just about cope with the work. It's everything else.
How do you mean?
You saw where I live. None of us is exactly rich.
I thought students were supposed to be poor, you know. It's par for the course.
Yeah? Well, you want to try it sometime.
Interview room 1, yeah?
David Manning, Sarge. I wondered what he was doing round here when he lives in Ruislip, so I called his father. It's a bit more complicated than we thought.
Run away?
Yeah, his parents reported him as a misper just over 2 months ago. The thing is, when I rang Mr. Manning and told him that David was here, he said, what about her?
Her?
Yeah, apparently David didn't leave home on his own. He was with one Carol Leland.
The electricity bill?
According to Mr. Manning, Carol Leland is 35 years old. He's demanding that we arrest her on everything from kidnapping to corrupting a minor.
It's mine. Where was it?
Under some bushes about half a mile away from where it happened. An old lady found it. Well, check inside. 40 quid. You were lucky. When Mrs. Whitemore frightened him off, he must have chucked it away without looking in it.
Do I have to sign for it or something?
Yeah, and a statement saying it's yours. Look, I'll just get the forms.
Ah, Jim.
Oh, sir, Marie Cousins, Inspector Munro.
Miss Cousins, can I have a word outside? Your suspect, Mr. Adams, is here for the ID parade, but I think you better come and hear what he's got to say first.
So he's put his hands up then?
Not exactly, no.
Oh, good morning. P.C. Ackland and Quinn and Sun Hill. Are you Miss Carol Leland?
Yes. What's the matter?
We need to ask you a few questions. Could we come in for a minute?
Yes, suppose so.
Thank you.
So, what's all this about then?
Well, do you know a young man? Looks about 18, brown hair, athletic sort of build.
What, do you mean David?
David Manning?
Yeah. What's happened to him?
Well, he's all right, but I'm afraid he's been arrested for theft. Shoplifting.
Oh, no. David wouldn't do anything like that.
Well, he's admitted it. When I arrested him, he had an electricity bill on him. It was in your name.
Well, yes, he went out to pay it this morning.
Does he often do errands for you?
No, it wasn't an errand. He was going out and he said that he'd pay it. Look, I'd really like to see him. Can I do that? Can I come down the station?
Yes, in fact, it'd be a help if you did.
You said David was going out. Does that mean he lives here too?
Yes.
And how old is he, do you know?
Yes, he's 16 next birthday, in a couple of months.
For the record then, Mr. Adams, would you like to tell me what you were doing last Tuesday night? I take it you're no longer claiming it was a case of mistaken identity.
No. I was there.
Behind the multi-storey car park in Wharf Lane?
Yes.
Why were you there?
Because I was looking for a girl.
A girl?
You know, a girl. A prostitute.
I see. Go on.
I drove past. This girl was standing looking, you know. I stopped and she came over. She seemed a bit, well, you know, strange, but when I asked if she was looking for business, she said yes. I said get in, and she did.
Of her own free will?
Yes. I didn't force her. I was going to pay.
So she got in your car. What next?
Oh, she'd already said, you know, £40 for straight sex. I gave it to her and she put it in her bag. But then when I tried to... She was making this funny noise. I didn't know what it was. I put my hand on her leg. And then she started shouting. I didn't know what was going on. Then she was out of the car and standing in the middle of the street. She looked as though she was crying.
Why was she crying?
I didn't know what was wrong, so I went over to see, but she started shouting again, telling me to get away. Then I heard someone else shout, a woman. She was running towards us. I don't know, I suppose I panicked. I didn't want anyone to know why I was there, so I ran back to the car, drove away. I didn't rob her. Do I look like a mugger? I went there for sex, that's all.
But you did take her bag.
By accident. She left it in the car when she jumped out. I didn't see it till I was driving away. I didn't know what to do with it, so I stopped and threw it out. You've got to believe me. I'm not making this up. It'd kill my wife if she knew.
Yes, David's still insisting that he'll only talk in front of a social worker, but I've sorted that out. Mrs. York came in about 10 minutes ago.
Thanks, Bob. Which leaves the question of his relationship with Miss Leland. June, how does she strike you?
Well, she's not stupid, and I reckon she knows there's more to this than just shoplifting. Now, apparently Mr. Manning tried to warn her off David, but the next thing he knew, they'd both disappeared.
So he still wants to press charges?
Oh, very much so. Look, sir, if it turns out that Miss Leland has been having a sexual relationship with David, what sort of charge are we looking at?
As far as the law's concerned, we can't charge you with unlawful sexual intercourse. It doesn't apply to underage boys. The closest would probably be indecent assault.
Who's Adam's brief?
King.
Well, they've had a few days. Maybe they've cooked this up to get round the identification.
Yes, but some of it fits.
Yeah?
Look, you don't get many 50-year-old muggers who use their own car to get away, do you?
You didn't think it was a problem before?
Yeah, but we got the car index under description. Look, if Adams doesn't fit as a mugger, then Marie doesn't fit as a Tom. For a start, she's too bright and she's a nice girl.
I've known lots of nice girls who've told porkies once in a while.
I'm telling you, they're shacked up together. I mean, he's 15, she's got to be, what, 35? She a looker? Well, you wouldn't kick her out of bed on a cold night, no.
How does he do it? When I was his age, I'd have given me right arm to score with a bird who knew the ropes.
Yeah, me and all, but I was never given a chance.
It don't surprise me.
I'm sorry to keep you, Carol.
Can I see David now?
I'm afraid that's not possible at the moment. He's being interviewed about the alleged theft this morning. In the meantime, though, if you wouldn't mind answering a few questions, it might help us to understand why David is stealing.
I'd like to know that too, if he was.
Oh, there's not much doubt about it, I'm afraid. Would you like to start by telling me the nature of your relationship with David?
We're friends.
Living together?
Well, I think that's our business, don't you?
I'm afraid not. You see, David's parents have made a formal complaint against you. It could amount to a charge of indecent assault.
Assault? But that's ridiculous.
Are you and David sexual partners?
Yes.
Then I think I should advise you of your rights before you say any more.
What were you really doing in Wharf Lane on Tuesday night, Marie? It's not your usual way home, is it?
Sometimes.
You any idea of the reputation of Wharf Lane? You know it's a place where prostitutes go to meet their customers?
No.
So you've never seen them when you've been walking home that way?
No.
And you've never been propositioned?
No!
It's all right. You can tell us.
Leave me alone! I've told you! I've told you! I wasn't doing anything! He just jumped out at me!
Really? So why does he say you were solicited? And that he paid you £40 to have sex?
He's lying! I'm not a prostitute, I'm not! I didn't do that!
Gov, can we take a break there? Do you fancy a cup of tea? You were a bit hard on her.
Yeah? It didn't happen like she said it did.
No, but she's not a Tom.
Look, I'll make her a cup of tea. Maybe she'll tell you on your own.
I said I took those things. Isn't that enough? Can I go now?
There's something else we need to talk about first. Carol Leland.
What about her?
We've talked to your parents. They told us that you and Carol ran away together. And they're worried about you.
I've told you about the shoplifting. I haven't got anything else to say.
So why don't you tell me? Just me, and we'll try and get it straightened out. Okay. Let's start with what he said. Is it true? Were you down there trying to earn money?
Yeah. I knew that was where they went. I'd seen them before. That was the first time, Tuesday. I thought about doing it before, but I couldn't.
So what did you need the money for?
To live on. How would you like to decide between buying the books you need and eating that week?
Well, can't your parents help you out?
They didn't want me to go to university in the first place. Waste of time, 3 years doing nothing.
So what happened with Mr. Adams?
I don't know. Yes, I do. I panicked. I thought it was all right. But when something snapped. I just couldn't. I had to get out.
And that's when you left your bag in his car?
I must have. I just said he'd come up to me and snatched my bag. That was all I could think of. I know I've wasted your time. It was just once I'd said it, I couldn't go back.
Can I help you, sir?
Well, if you can't, I've had a wasted journey. I've had a phone call to say you're holding my son.
Right. Can you tell me your name, please, sir?
Manning. Paul Manning. My son's name is David.
Right, Mr. Manning. If you'd like to take a seat, I'll tell the inspector you're here.
What about her? Is she here too?
And who would that be, sir?
Carol Leland, the whore he's with.
Well, I'm sorry, but I really can't take this seriously. I mean, are you trying to make out that I've somehow corrupted a child?
Well, according to the law, David is still a juvenile, and we have to investigate his father's allegations.
His father? Did he tell you that he came round to see me?
Mm-hmm.
He said it was because he was worried about David. Well, we talked for about an hour, and then he made a pass at me. I think his exact words were, "If you think you've made a man out of David, you wait till you see what a real man can do." Well, I threw him out, but by that time it was too late. He told David what he'd do if we saw each other again, so David came round to my flat and we left. So what'll happen to David now?
Well, that depends. But he'll be returned to his parents' care once we've dealt with any charges for the theft.
His parents' care, that's good. I know you said that David was shoplifting. Can you tell me what it was that he stole?
Gift packs of toiletries. Talc, bath salts, perfume.
You mean the kind of stuff men buy when they don't know what their girlfriend's really like?
Could be.
I thought we got over that one.
What?
Just the fact that I'm working, supporting us both.
You're a supply teacher, aren't you?
Yeah.
Does David have a problem with that?
No. It's just... Well, he's not a child, you know. He's a mature young man. I mean, that's why we're together. It's just that, well, sometimes, you know, just found it frustrating that he couldn't contribute more.
Did you argue about that?
No. No, we said from the start that David would get through his A-levels at college first. He's very bright. Look, I don't expect you to understand what David and I mean to each other. You know, people look at us, they see the age difference, and that's all they see. But between us, it doesn't matter. Not as friends or lovers. What we've got is good, and I'm not ashamed of that. And whatever happens now, that's not going to change.
It's not just Marie, sir. Look, if Adams had told us what he was really doing, it wouldn't have got this far.
Well, I'll have a word about the penalties for curb crawling when I tell him he can go. Have you seen the girl home?
Yes, sir.
Then I suggest you warn her about the dangers of prostitution, amateur or professional.
Yes, sir.
Oh, June. There you picked up a toy boy.
Yeah, very funny.
Yeah, no, look, but what is it, right? I mean, she's in her 30s, he's what, 15?
Yes, and I really don't want to hear how you'd have loved to have had an older woman when you were 15.
Well, she must be a bit off if you ask me. I mean, what could she get out of being with a kid that age? No job, no car, no money.
No, I agree with Polly. I mean, well, there can't be a future in it, can there? What's she saying in him?
Well, I'll tell you, Reg, I think it might have something to do with the fact that men reach their sexual peak when they're in their teens. Which means that some of you are well past it, doesn't it? Sir, does Manning still want Carol charged?
Very much so. Why?
Well, according to Carol, Manning made a pass at her which she rejected. So trying to press charges could be a way of getting his own back.
Or the product of a guilty conscience.
Yes, sir. Now I've spoken to Carol, I don't think indecent assault really figures in this. I mean, David's nearly 16. From what I've heard, he and Carol have a pretty stable relationship.
And you think we should let it go?
I don't think the CPS would proceed on it anyway, do you, sir?
Probably not. My only worry is that David won't tell us about Carol. We need to hear his side before making any decision.
There won't be any charges. No one at the station will say anything, so no one will have to know, will they?
They know about... I told them I'd been mugged.
I'll just say you never recognised the bloke. That way it'll be just another unsolved street crime and they'll think we're no good at our jobs. It'll work out, you'll see.
Will it? Why? Nothing's changed, has it? Maybe I was stupid to lose my nerve like that.
You're not thinking of doing it again. You know the dangers of prostitution.
Yeah, but I mean... I've been through all this and I'm still no better off, am I? Don't worry. Thanks for the lift.
Look, you can't tell me it's not an offence. I know it is.
Yes, but I'm afraid that in my view, a prosecution by the CPS is unlikely, especially since David himself isn't making any allegations.
So you're gonna let her go? Typical. Well, you're gonna hear from my solicitor. David is underage. You know that. And you know what he's been doing with that tart.
Yes, well, as I understand it, Miss Leland has been the subject of unwanted sexual advances herself, and not from David.
We're not doing anything I didn't know how to do before, you know. She's not corrupting me.
No, I don't think she is. Look, I may be wrong, but I don't think there'll be any charges against Carol, especially if we know your side of it. For instance, the shoplifting. If we understood why you'd done it.
Because I was stupid. I wanted to give Carol a present, a treat. Just for supporting us both. I saw the perfume and things, but I didn't have any money, so I just took them. I wish you hadn't told her.
Why?
I don't know. Feels like I let her down. Behaved like a kid. A stupid kid. And now she knows it's like I proved that everyone was right. Saying she should be with someone her own age. It's not true. We're right together.
That's what she says too.
As I said, it would be unwise to try and contact David once he's at home.
Well, I appreciate your concern, Inspector. Look, don't worry. David's too important to me. I'm not going to make the situation worse.
Look, the inspector said I wasn't... They should be locking you up. You tart!
There you go, then.
So what now? Is Carol still here?
Oh, I think she's gone. Your father's waiting to take you home.
That should be fun. It's not my home anymore, you know. Got my own life now.
I'm sorry, but the law says that you have to be returned to your parents' care.
Yeah. Well, I'll be 16 in a few weeks.
You could try talking to them, you know. Your parents.
Like I said, I'll be 16 in a few weeks.